Hello and welcome. This week I want to talk to you about the hot new social media site on the blog, Pinterest. If you haven't already heard of it, Pinterest is like a social sharing platform for really scrummy, yummy pictures, which might make you think, well, how's that going to help to promote my website and my business? It's honestly not for every type of business, every website or every audience, but when it does work well, it works really well. So we're going to talk about how you can tell if it would work for you, how to implement it in your business and promoting your website, and give you some real examples of how I've used it. As some bonus content, we also have a free ebook provided by Brainhost, which will cover some of the subjects that I talk about and then some. So let's get started. So I am going to give you some examples, but I want to quickly talk about some principles behind Pinterest. So what is Pinterest? It is essentially a social sharing site that is very visual. You pin your interests on boards. If you've ever had a scrapbook or a vision board, then it's very much like that. With other social media, you have more communication, more dialogue, you'll talk. Even with Twitter, I know you only have 140 characters, but you're still talking, whereas this is very much visual. In order to interact with people, you can follow boards and people. So people have lots of boards and you can follow individual boards if they're on a topic that's of interest to you and potentially your audience. In order to take it further, you would repin pictures. You might then tweet those. You could also comment on individual pictures to create a discussion and like a picture. You'd want to like something if you don't want to share it with your audience, but you still want to show a bit of appreciation for it. It's very much lifestyle orientated, not product. So you're going a step further. You're not just trying to use it as an opportunity for banner advertising. You're actually showing the emotion and the value behind what your product is and what it provides. The people on the website are mostly women. So if your audience is mostly women, or there is a strong following that you can advertise to, or you can target that who are women, then this is a good social media for you. So how can you tell if it's right for you? Apart from if your audience is female, is there a way, ask yourself, is there a way to represent the value that you provide in your product or service with graphics that are enticing? You need to show the benefit of your business in pictures. So again, we're not just talking about the product, we're taking it a step further. As an example, if you sell kitchens, you want to show happy families enjoying a new kitchen, feeling confident in their space, having lots of just good times, really. That's what you'd want to demonstrate with these kind of pictures, and just feeling a very homely environment. Do you already have great graphics that you can use? Well, then that would be very easy. You could add them to your website and then share it on your Pinterest account. If you don't, then can you get a photographer in to take some good pictures? Can you get some produced using a graphic designer? Or you could always just buy some online. There are some pretty, extremely reasonably priced ones from Fotolia that I it's usually where I source mine, and I'll provide the link below. Yeah, it's been very rare that I haven't been able to find what I've wanted on there. You can also produce infographics, graphs and step-by-step tutorials, and the reason for wanting to do this is that people will click through to your website if they get a feeling that there is more to the graphic than what is being shown on Pinterest. Why is it worth paying attention to? I do always try these things out with one of my other businesses, Everything for Redheads, before I really talk about it on here. And this week, it's sort of the benefit has been demonstrated to me. My Google Analytics report, and if you don't know anything about Google Analytics, then there are some posts that you can go and have a look at about Google Analytics on the Fluid WebWorks website. My Google Analytics report revealed to me that I have as many click-throughs from Pinterest as Facebook already. So that's considering how huge Facebook is, that there aren't many people who don't have a Facebook account yet. I'm getting more click-throughs. Now, this is only half the story, because at the end of the day, click-throughs are only valuable if they lead to sales or a contact, or whatever the goal of your website is. So it is important to monitor what those click-throughs actually lead to, whether they do lead to sales, to know whether you have actually got a return on investment. And I don't just mean investment in money, I mean investment in your time and energy. I don't want you wasting time on social media that isn't relevant to you. So that's something I'm going to follow, whether these click-throughs are actually converting, and I'll be able to update you on that. But this is very promising that this has happened already. So here we are on the Pinterest website, and what I've done is I've come straight to the dashboard for Everything for Redheads to demonstrate to you how as a business it's worked for me and why it's worked for us, but also why it might not work for your business. Now, the audience for Everything for Redheads is female, so you know we've got a good thing there, but it's very easy to represent what we're about in a visually enticing way, and there are a lot of topics around it, so I've been able to create boards around those topics. As you can see, I've got pin-ups and gorgeous ladies. In the 1950s they seem to appreciate redheads quite a lot, which is great, which is miscellaneous really. Topics about redheads, which are blog posts and things that I found that have got some good images, so I've just shared that in there, and this has actually been very helpful for the Everything for Redheads blog post. Products for Redheads, which is a bit of a blatant plug, but it's still, you know, it's kept there to one side, so if somebody wants to go and have a look, then they're welcome to. Redhead Style, which is where I put a lot of stuff, just if I see an amazing picture of a redhead, then I stick it there. Redhead Humour and Quotes, very, very popular. Quotes could be a great way for you to reach your audience if you can find ones and share them, and even make your own, which I'll demonstrate to you in a bit. Redhead Art, books, and famous redheads, which there are quite a lot of. So that's how it can look, and this is how I've started mine. So as an example, if I go into topics for redheads, so my internet connection is sort of playing up today, then what you can see here are the pictures that are attached to posts on the Everything for Redheads blog. So if I come over here to the blog and I scroll down, you can see some of the posts, and every single post I include a picture with it, and I try to make it as visually enticing as possible. Now I use pictures from Fotolia, as I told you, and they have been amazing so far, and again very, very reasonable. Another way that I've used it, I have shown you the products, which you can go and have a look at yourself, but what I've done is actually produced my own graphics. If we go over here to Redhead Humour and Quotes, you can see just here that I've taken some quotes about redheads that people seem to appreciate. I've made a little visual. I got this image from Fotolia, and then I've branded it up, and then I put it in the Everything for Redheads blog, and then also put it on Pinterest, and then that's shared around. And quotes do get a lot of shares or repins, so, and also on Twitter as well. So that can be a really good way for you to maybe start working on actually driving people through to your website and actually showing your brand as well. Now I'm going to show you what it actually looks like when you first arrive on Pinterest. I know this might seem back to front, but I thought I'd actually show you how I've used it as a business. This is what you get when you first arrive, and these are all people that I've already followed, or I followed their boards, their individual boards. If I scroll down, earlier on I saw this picture and I really liked it, so I repinned it. You just repin at the top and make sure you add a description. The reason for this is it makes it searchable for the terms that you want to be found for. So if with me the terms redhead, red hair, ginger and things like that are very useful, so I'd make sure that I write a description that includes at least one of those terms in it. I then could tweet it, so you have to consider whether the description that you add is good for Twitter. If you just put a full stop or something, then that's not it's not going to get people to follow that. You can also choose which board you add it to, and Redhead Style would be most appropriate for this one. And you can decide where you go. With the tweet, it will just add the description and then a link to your Pinterest account. And I found quite a lot of people coming onto Pinterest from Twitter in that way, so it's really good. If you just appreciate something but you don't think that your audience necessarily will do, then you can just like it. I think that's quite funny. So that's that. I'm going to quickly show you what an individual person's account looks like, because this is what your audience will look like. This is my one, and I've spent more time on Pinterest for business than I have on my personal account, as you can see. But you can see I've already put some boards, and quite a lot of the time you'll scroll down and it will just keep going. People have got loads and loads and loads and loads of boards. Now, if you see that an individual has pinned something of yours, then it's worthwhile going and having a look at their boards, because they could have a board that is specifically about what you're interested in. I wouldn't necessarily recommend following all, because you could end up with your feed this being filled with loads of things that aren't that relevant to you, which in some ways I've sort of got here. There's a lot of stuff that isn't great for my audience, so I'd have to be searching a lot through it. So if there is a board that's very relevant and very interesting, then you can just follow that individual board instead of following them all, which is really, really useful. I'm going to show you how another company has done it apart from Everything for Redheads. I did briefly mention Nike. Now we have got a lot of images here of products, but you can also see this is really skewed towards women, so they know the demographics. Here you can also see that not only are there products, there are things to do with the lifestyle that Nike provides. So you've got here a woman with the results that we might all be going for, we might be hoping for. There are some, I think this is a great example of a graphic that demonstrates the emotion and the lifestyle that the Nike product is hopefully providing to us. So I'm making myself fit, I'm making myself shine, I'm making myself strong. Real women, or they look like real women, living the Nike lifestyle and really showing the emotion behind it. So there's so much stuff in here. My feet hurt from kicking so much ass. Run. I love it. Okay, so this is it for Pinterest, for the boards. But what you need to be able to do when you're about on Pinterest is to be able to, in the internet at large, you need to be able to pin pictures. And I'll demonstrate to you quickly how to do that. This up here is a little shortcut that allows you to pin any picture within a website page. And to get this, you need to go to the very top, go to About, and then Pin It button. And what you can do is it will take you to a page where you can just drag and drop that into your browser. I'm not going to do it again because I've already got one and there is a picture and whatnot. What that then means is I've gone back to my website here. If I then press the Pin It button, then you get this dialog showing up and you can pick a picture, pin this, and I can put anything like redhead, child looking cheeky, or something else. You could put something maybe a bit more intelligent than that. So, and then just choose a board that it would go on. Pin it, and it will also go to Twitter as well, also go to your Twitter account. So now it's time for action. I want you to, if you do think that Pinterest is right for you, and this is important, don't waste your time. I know it's free, but it still takes time. Join by invite and sign up with your business Twitter email if you do want to integrate it with Twitter. There are more instructions in the ebook, so download that ebook to go through it all. Start following your ideal audience and others that are related so that you can get subjects to share. Create boards of interest to your target audience and to you, and add a shortcut to your browser to make it easier as you go along, to just whenever you find an image. Start pinning and start repinning, commenting and liking, and make sure your website has pinnable images that you can first of all share, but that others can share as well. If you haven't already sourced them, then maybe make some pinnable images, like quotes is a good idea, infographics, graphs, depending on what you're doing, and check out who's following you and follow them. Have a look at their boards, it could be a great source of inspiration for you. So I hope you found this post to be of value. If you have and you think you know somebody else who might, then make sure that you share it with them. If there's anything that you'd like more information on, then please comment below. There will be constant updates to this Pinterest thing. It's quite new at the moment. There'll be new resources and new things happening, and it's quite exciting. And I like it because it's so visually yummy. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.